Yom Haatzmaut Sameach. I'd like to read to you a beautiful Rashi that my Rebbe and Rosh Hashiva, Rabbi Mital, used to often quote, particularly in connection to Yom Haatzmaut. The Torah tells us at the end of Parshat Breshit, Vayar Hashem ki rabba ra'at ha'adam ba'aretz, v'chol yetzer machshavo libo rak kol hayom. Vayinachem Hashem ki aso et ha'adam ba'aretz, vayidatsev al libo. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw that the wickedness of man was great upon the earth, and that unfortunately, Kiviyachal of sorts, HaKadosh Baruch Hu reconsidered having made man, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu had pain in his heart. Rashi on this pasuk quotes a conversation of a goy echad sheshal at Rabbi Shua ben Karcha, who asked Rabbi Shua ben Karcha, Amar lo, and he said to him, Ein atem modin sh'HaKadosh Baruch Hu roeh et hanolad? Don't you agree that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has the ability, of course, to see the future? Amar lo, and he said to him, hey, of course. Amar lo, v'haktiv v'yitatsev al libo, but it says he was pained in his heart, which indicates that HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't see what would happen from the creation of man. Amar lo, Rabbi Shua said to him, Nolad l'cha ben zachar miyamecha? Do you have a child that was born in your lifetime? Amar lo, and he said to him, hey, yes. Uma asita. And he said to him, well, what did you do when you had this child? Amar lo, and he said to him, Samachti. Simachti etakol. I had incredible joy. Great, beautiful simcha. Amar lo, and he said to him, V'lo hayita yodea shesofa lamut. But don't you know that eventually this child will die? Amar lo, Rabbi Shua said to him, Kach ma'aseh HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So too, the conduct of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Afal pi shegalui lefanav shesoso lechto ula'avdam lo nivna milavaron. So too, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even though he knew that man would eventually sin, he didn't stop from creating him. And Rashi quotes a beautiful phrase that I skipped that I want to highlight right now, where he says to him, Bishat chedvata, chedvata, Bishat evla, evla. The Rabbi Shua ben Karcha says to this guy, at a time of joy, we have joy, and at a time of avelut, we have avelut. Rabbi Tal used this phrase of Rashi, Bishat chedvata, chedvata, Bishat evla, evla, to describe the incredibly difficult emotional roller coaster that we find ourselves on when we go from Yom HaZikaron to Yom Haatzmaut. Yom HaZikaron, a day filled with mourning, with sadness, with heartbreak. A day normally filled where all of Israel goes to the cemeteries to mourn the losses of so many in their country. Followed immediately on the heels by Yom Haatzmaut, a day of immense joy. How is it possible? How can you go from sadness to joy so fast and so quickly? It's an incredibly difficult concept to understand, an emotionally charged environment. But says Rashi, Bishat chedvata, chedvata. At a time of joy, we have to be happy. Bishat evla, evla. In a time of sadness, we have to be filled with sadness. I have a very close friend of mine who unfortunately, in the middle of Shiva, had to make a wedding. The difficulty in having to go from Shiva to Avelut, incredibly, unimaginable. But yet, at a time of joy, we have to be joyous. Time of Avelut, we have to be sad. And I'd like to use this to explain a change that takes place in the brachot that we make on a wedding. In the Sheva Brachos, the very last of the Sheva Brachos, we say, Me'ira Hashem Elokeinu Yishama Ba'ara Yehuda B'chutzot Yerushalayim Kol Sasan, Kol Simcha, Kol Chatan V'Kol Kala Kol Mitzalach Chatanim V'Chupatan V'Nurim V'Mshteh Neginata. We talk about the incredible joy that will happen in the cities of Yehuda and the streets of Yerushalayim. And we quote from Psukim in Yirmiyahu, but we make one change, because if you look at the actual Psukim in Yirmiyahu, you find that they're not the same. We quote in Yirmiyahu, Kol Sasam Kol Simcha, kol chatam v'kol kala, that we will hear the voices of joy, the voices of happiness, the voices of a chatan and the voices of a kala, and we will sing and praise and be filled with immense wonder. But the last call, the last voice, is different. Because Yirmiyahu says, Kol omrim hodu es Hashem tzvakot ki tov Hashem ki li'olam chasto mevi'in toda beis Hashem ki yashiv et shvut haaretz kivarishona amar Hashem. Coming from Perek Lamed Gimel, Pasuk Yud Aleph in Yirmiyahu, this refers to a sound of immense joy over the ability to bring karbanot in the Beis HaMikdash. And Rav Amital asked similarly, why don't we quote this call? Why do we instead change it to focus on the joy of being in the streets of Yerushalayim and the singing and dancing that will take place there? And he quotes from the Gemara at the end of Makot, the famous story of Rabbi Kiva, when he consoles his friends who are mourning the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, and instead of talking about the rebuilding of the Beis HaMikdash, he talks about the Zikanim and the Zikainot, who will be in the Arei Yerushalayim, who will be in the streets of Jerusalem. And Rav Amital explained, because that is a consolation, and that's a simcha that will be felt sooner. And that's a simcha that we will be able to connect with in a more immediate way than the simcha of the rebuilding of the Beis HaMikdash. With the point being is that even though we can't be fully besimcha on this Yom Haatzmaut, as on many, because we don't yet have a Beit HaMikdash, but we should be filled with simcha over the incredible success that Israel has become, and over the incredible success that exists in Yerushalayim. This was felt in an amazing way, particularly this year, and this should be felt this year, when we struggle in an environment of COVID-19. So many in our community are pained over so much loss and so much death. And without a doubt, this is the most challenging Yom Haatzmaut we felt in years, in which we can't even celebrate as a community. We're self-isolated. We're alone. We don't have our shuls. We don't have our schools that are physically open in the same way that they were just a few short weeks ago. We don't have minyanim that we can participate in. But we have to find simcha. We have to find joy. We have to celebrate in other ways. We have to look at all of the blessings that we have, and we have to pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we will once again come together as a community very, very soon. Please God, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu's help, we should all be matzliach to get past this virus. We should once again be able to celebrate as a community, and please God, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should continue to build up Yerushalayim, to rebuild the Beit HaMikdash. Yom Haatzmaut Sameach, and thank you very much.